BingX, a trusted global crypto exchange. Trade spot, futures, or copy top traders easily. Sign up via the link or referral code to get 30 USDT instantly, plus up to 1,500 USDT in bonuses for verification, deposit, and trading.
A confidential report commissioned by the Western Australian government has issued a stark warning, suggesting that the state's substantial gas exports carry significant risks of hindering Asia's transition to cleaner energy sources. This revelation directly challenges the narrative actively promoted by the Western Australian government, which posits that the industry plays a crucial role in reducing global emissions. The 2024 report, prepared by consultants Deloitte, casts doubt on claims made by Western Australian Premier Roger Cook in 2023. He had asserted that the state's rising greenhouse gas pollution, largely attributed to the vast quantities of gas burned to liquefy exports, was justifiable because it benefited the climate and displaced coal power in Asia. Western Australia stands as the sole Australian state without a 2030 emissions reduction target and is uniquely the only state currently generating more carbon pollution than it did in 2005, the benchmark year established by the Paris Agreement. Sophie McNeil, a member of the WA Greens in the upper house who has championed the report's public release, stated that it exposes the embellishments by the WA Labour government. She argued that despite a substantial investment exceeding $400,000 to Deloitte, the Cook government failed to elicit the desired narrative because it fundamentally lacked truthfulness. McNeil further questioned the government's reluctance to disclose the report for nearly a year. This internal assessment emerges at a time when Australia faces record heatwaves, prompting scrutiny of its continued reliance on fossil fuels. The Deloitte report, marked Cabinet in Confidence and obtained by The Guardian and ABC, acknowledges that gas possesses significant potential as an interim energy source during the critical shift from coal and oil to renewable energy. However, it concurrently highlights the substantial risk that gas exports to Asia could inadvertently decelerate investments in renewable energy infrastructure. Deloitte's conclusion emphasizes the imperative to manage these risks meticulously, ensuring that natural gas functions as a genuine bridge fuel rather than fostering a long-term dependency that obstructs progress towards decarbonization objectives. The consultancy forecasts a declining role for gas in Australia's traditional Asian markets of Japan, South Korea, and Taiwan. Projections indicate that consumption in these nations must begin to decrease in the 2030s and fall to just 20% of current levels by 2050 to align with the critical goal of limiting global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius. The report's illustrations suggest an expected decline in gas imports, measured in exajoules of energy, within these established markets. Conversely, Deloitte's analysis indicates that a projected increase in gas use over the next 15 years in China, India, and Indonesia, followed by a substantial reduction in the 2040s, remains consistent with climate goals. Accompanying graphics illustrate the predicted pattern of gas use growth in China and India before a subsequent decrease. Thomas Hooley, an analyst at the research organization Climate Analytics who has reviewed the report, expresses skepticism regarding the likelihood of increased gas consumption rapidly declining. He points out that the development of gas import terminals, pipelines, and gas-fired power stations requires billions of dollars in investment. Hooley argues that there is no political assurance that a fossil fuel like liquefied natural gas will be restricted to short-term use, especially given the lengthy lead times involved in project development and operation. He suggests that such investments ultimately benefit industries capable of developing these projects and subsequently exerting political pressure to entrench their position. The Japanese government, according to Deloitte, is actively involved in financing gas production, transportation, and utilization projects across Asia, adopting a market-making role designed to enhance Japan's trade influence and create commercial opportunities for Japanese firms. This initiative is particularly controversial given that Japanese companies reportedly resell approximately one-third of the gas they purchase from Australia, generating over $1 billion in profit in 2024 alone. Key contributors to the Deloitte study, as listed by the consultancy, include major energy players such as Woodside and Chevron, the oil and gas lobby group Australian Energy Producers, 4 Japanese companies with investments in Australian gas projects, and Taiwan's Ministry of Economic Affairs. Independent Freedom of Information documents obtained by WA climate researcher Piers Verstegen reveal that Premier Cook was briefed on the report in preparation for a meeting to discuss energy diplomacy issues raised by the study. This briefing appears to have informed his statements in March, when he told The Guardian that ceasing WA's gas exports would compel Asian buyers to turn to coal or gas sourced from Russia and the United States. Deloitte arrived at this conclusion by operating under the assumption that all WA gas exports would be halted by 2031, a scenario that Hooley deems irrelevant, arbitrary, and highly improbable. Furthermore, the global consultancy's calculations of potential emission savings, based on the premise of all WA gas exports displacing coal, are characterized by Hooley as a false equivalence. He contends that gas being marginally less harmful than the most polluting fuels does not automatically qualify it as a transition fuel, particularly when cost-effective alternatives like solar and wind are readily available. In a formal statement, Premier Cook indicated that the draft Deloitte report is currently under cabinet consideration. He asserted that the report outlines how WA gas is actively playing an important role in Asia's transition to net zero. During a recent visit to Japan, the Premier reportedly emphasized WA's contribution to the nation's energy transition through the supply of liquefied natural gas, ammonia produced using gas, carbon capture and storage technologies, and future green fuels once they achieve commercial viability. Cook articulated Japan's reliance on trusted trading partners for secure, affordable, and lower carbon energy, citing limited domestic capacity for renewables and substantial energy demand as key drivers for this dependence.